As many of you know, I'm a nerd. Understandably, my nerdiness has left its mark on my art. It's very much so based around the style of the artists who made my favorite manga. However, I can't attribute all my style to that artist. Equally, I must thank my old art teacher, Warren, for encouraging me to delve deeper into my own style. Now, I'm guessing some of you may be thinking, who is this Warren guy? Well, he teaches at a weekend/summer camp over at the Memorial Art Gallery based around Japanese comic art. It revolved mainly around Warren giving us a topic such as drawing a Japanese ghost or some giant mecha you see in the movies, and then everyone chatting while we worked. Ideally, we worked anyways. For a good 5 or so years, I consistently signed up for these classes. However, towards the end, it was less about the art and more about hanging out with my friends, which of course included Warren. Throughout my time in Warren's classes, I always felt like I could truly express myself and have a great time. I made a great group of friends. Penn, Lauren, not the one in our class, Delancey and his circular battle axe spear, Katie, Sam, Ben, not the one in our class, and our collective class mascot, Koa. Together with Warren, we were the regulars. We always had a blast in his classes, and it was always thanks to Warren himself. He always opens his first class with him introducing himself, insisting everyone refer to him not by Mr. or anything formal, just Warren. He made sure to get the message clear that early on that this class was very much so an informal experience, a casual one, and fun-focused. And I cannot begin to explain the amount of fun that I had in this class with Warren and my friends. If there's one thing I could always count on when going to this class, it was having a good time. For the work I actually did in the class, I would always produce art that I was always happy with, and I could always count on Warren's praise and the occasional advice as well. But for the latter, it was always put in the nicest way possible and always ended in me feeling like I genuinely learned something. That's part of the reason I feel like I've benefited so much from this class and having him as my mentor. I only ever received encouragement to pursue art in my own way. No nonsense about adding backgrounds when they weren't needed. Again, I want to emphasize that as much as Warren was my teacher, he was also a friend. He was into many of the same things I was, be it Doctor Who or Dragon Ball. Speaking of Dragon Ball, at one point in my freshman year, I was working on this little fan comic where my character would meet the main cast and fight and stuff. I brought the comic in a binder to show him, and I cannot begin to explain or describe the happiness that I felt when he told me how he thought it was awesome and how he really loved it. I was like a bubbly soda that day, filled with glee and excitement to the brim. Isn't it just the best, receiving praise from someone you look up to in response to something you've worked so hard on? It is to me. Now, my favorite thing from Warren's classes were his stories. They are some of my greatest memories from him in the class, and I adore retelling them. I always feel like some wise old guy with a fuzzy beard and a hunched over back, telling a bunch of kids around a campfire a story. Oddly specific, but ignore that. In the end, I decided I had to tell my personal favorite. It, along with many other memories, are so many different things that I can thank him for. He said in an email that he was honored to have me write this for him, but I, in turn, was and am honored to have been his student and friend. Now, may I present to you the best of Warren's feel-good tales, patent pending, Fleshy the Whale. One day, when Warren was taking a walk, he saw a random cardboard box on the side of the road, and wow, that is a very bad box. on top of it was something a little abnormal. It was this giant leg of meat, probably like from a pig or something like that. Now, for whatever reason, Warren looked at it and thought, hey, that kind of looks like a whale. So, Warren had the extreme urge then to run home, grab a Sharpie, draw a little face on the whale, and say, and write on the box, hey parents, come take a picture of your kids with Fleshy the Whale. He never did, but alas, Fleshy still lives on in our minds, hearts, and nightmares. Warren is many things. A fan of Japanese culture, a connoisseur of television, an artistic genius, a great teacher, and a friend I still keep in touch with to this day. I'll send him my art or stories every so often, and I'm always given the same absolute positivity. I can never really thank him enough for how much he's impacted me, but I can still try. Thank you, Warren.